Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Three Hammers podcast. Here this week with Luke. It's just me and Luke this week. No Lee, unfortunately. No special guest this week. It's just us two. But still, going to be a good show. So, Luke, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Can I just say a big hello to any of our new subscribers that have joined us since the X podcast? I think we've had about 75 new subscribers since the X podcast went out, and I really hope, guys, that you enjoyed the show. We've had some fantastic feedback on how well X come across and also how well we come across the channel for giving him that platform to ask those sort of really hard questions that you guys wanted to know. You wanted to know what his motives are, what his life's about, and yeah, I think it's a fantastic show, and if you've not seen it, guys, please go check it out. Anyway, the news is a bit dry, Paul. There are a couple of big things that have happened. Obviously, two players have gone out, and I think we'll start with the bigger of the two. Actually, we'll start with the littler of the two. We'll start with Reece. We touched on it last week. It has now been confirmed. Reece Oxford has gone to Borussia Mönchengladbach for a year on loan. What do we make of that?
Yeah, I think it's a good move for him. I think it's a good move. It's a good level for him to play at. It's a good league for him to play in. As long as he gets decent game time, they seem to be able to develop players pretty well as well. So yeah, no, I think it's a good move for him. I think it's the right decision. We really need to see something from him this time, though. He needs to make an impression. I think if he makes a good impression, he'll come back and he'll be pushing our first team. If he doesn't, I don't think we'll see him again. He'll probably be shipped off. Yeah,
it's like you say, it's a fantastic league, the Bundesliga. They're a good, steady side, aren't they? I don't know whether they qualify for Europa League or anything like that. I'm not sure. I have to check that when I go off online. But yeah, like you say, he needs to step up now. I said it last week to X, actually. I think Reece Burke has sort of stepped ahead of him at the moment.
Yeah.
Because you've got to remember, 2 years ago, this guy was the best English prospect that's in the country. Single-handedly beat Arsenal.
Yeah.
Obviously, the newspaper headlines I'm quoting there. But yeah, at the moment he's stagnated. I think it's probably the word to say. He could have, and if Jaap Stam at Reading is saying you're not ready yet, I respect what Jaap Stam says. Obviously, he was one of the best defenders of his generation, so there's obviously something there. I don't know. Has his hunger gone a little bit? Perhaps a big contract for a young kid.
Yeah, maybe it all come a bit too soon for him. Because he was still obviously very young, and obviously being thrown into the limelight like that in all of the newspapers, like you say, England's next big hope, the next Rio Ferdinand, you know, all of that on him. Maybe it was a bit too much too soon, and I think it's probably been good for him to be out of that spotlight for a season. And like you say, hopefully he goes away to Germany and he does really well. It'd be interesting to see how he adapts, obviously, to a brand new country, you know, a completely new environment. But yeah, I think it'd be good for him.
Yeah, especially, I think he's only 18 now, isn't he? Yeah, he's probably 18 now. So it's a big test. It's going to be a big culture shock. He's away from his friends. He's away from his family. And this could really make or break his career. And obviously, we wish him all the best because he's potentially a very, very expensive player for us in the future. Obviously, one that came a bit out of the blue really this week, sort of wasn't a surprise, but wasn't fully expected, I would say. Havard Nordtveit has left West Ham.
Yeah.
He's gone to Hoffenheim. I don't know. I think when he played his position, he did all right.
Yeah, I think two things really to it for me. First of all, it depends how much we got for him. Some people were saying it was nominal. It was practically a free just to get the wages off the books. Others are saying it was about 4 million. I think X put a post out saying it was about 5 million. So, I mean, I don't know. If we got sort of 4 or 5 million for him, you can't argue with that. That's decent. If he went for nothing, well, he didn't cost us nothing, did he? So, you know, yeah, he looked all right when he played in his proper position. The thing is I think if you look at the players that's above him now, that's in front of him, you know, obviously it seems like we want to be giving Fernandes more game time this season, so he'd be in front of him. Obviously, Obiang, he's not going to play in front of Mark. Kouyate, who's making noises this week, if we want to keep him and keep him happy. So he was down the pecking order.
Yeah. I liked him though. Yeah, when he was playing centre half and playing right back, he looked well out of sorts. But I think anyone would, and we'll go on to what Sheck said a little bit later. But yeah, when he did play that CDM role though, I quite liked him there. I did, and I know Lee. If Lee was here today, he'd be saying he was the only one who can ping a ball. Maybe he tried it a bit too often and it didn't come off. But I don't know. I thought he was good. He come with a big reputation as well. Wasn't he rated the better player than the guy that went to Arsenal, Granit Xhaka? Is that his name?
Yeah. Yes, but I think we said this at the time. There's a reason Nordtveit came to us for nothing and Xhaka went to Arsenal for like 30 million. Do you know what I mean? There is a reason for that. But no, you're right. He was coming off the back of a good season. And yeah, I mean, it's a shame. It's one of them transfers. Nothing against the guy whatsoever. It's just one of them transfers. Unfortunately, didn't work out. Yeah.
Do you think we'll be looking at midfielders now, or as a lot of people have sort of saying on Twitter, this will be potential for Josh Cullen to maybe get on the bench every week now?
Yeah, I would say so. The rumours are that we've promised him more game time. We've promised him that he'll be in and around the first team. And no, I don't think we'll buy any midfielders, because I don't think we need any. Possibly another attacking midfielder, but that kind of central holding, sitting position, we've got plenty. Like I listed off the names a minute ago. We've got plenty of players that can play there and do a good job. We don't need to strengthen there. Like I say, maybe an attacking sort of a Lanzini type player. But I think that'd be it. I can't see us really going for another sort of holding mid.
No, I was just asking in terms of would you take Jack Wilshere if it came up now? Like with Nordtveit gone, would you take Jack Wilshere? I know we discuss it nearly every week.
I don't think we need him.
Yeah.
I don't think we need him. I really don't. I mean, like I say, you look at who we've got that's going to play in that middle two. Like I say, I know, yes, we've said the last few weeks, Noble needs to sort of take a step back now. But like I say, you've got Fernandez coming through. You've got Cullen, hopefully coming through. Obiang, Kouyate. I don't think we need him. I think the money would be better spent elsewhere.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do agree. I was just putting it out there because there was a few little spats yesterday. Some of the papers and some pundits were saying, "Oh, this is a good opportunity for West Ham to go in for Jack." Yeah, I do like Jack, but yeah, I don't think we need him. I think it's very true, and I'd rather see Josh Cullen play than Jack Wilshere. I know some West Ham fans will go, "Oh, Jack's such a great player," but no, I want to see Josh play. I want to see him push on and become our new Mark or whatever you want to call him. Yeah, you touched on it a little bit ago, Paul. Kouyate rumours again. This come from some African paper. I cannot remember it for the life of me. I don't know. Is it one of those no smoke without fire ones, or?
It's a weird one because, yeah, I think 100% there's probably something in it. But he if you look at Kouyate, all the time he's been here, he's always he's one of them. If you look at the social media side of the club, he's always there. He seems to be a real joker, a real personality in the squad, always laughing, always smiling. He's not the sort of player I'd expect to kick up a fuss.
No, I don't think. And then if I judge him on his performances towards the end, when someone needed to put some shifts in, he did all right. He scored that really important goal, didn't he? I can't remember who it was against now. Swansea, was it? Was it Swansea when he scored that long range goal? Back 25 yards, real passion. And yeah, a bit out of the blue. But what was being said sounds like it did come from his mouth. Lee stuff where he was disappointed at playing right back, and he was very exposed there, and he wouldn't be happy if he was played out of position next year, and he couldn't confirm whether he will be at West Ham.
Yeah, I mean that all sounds like you say. I agree completely. It definitely does sound like there's something in it. Like you say, no smoke without fire. I don't think he's the sort of player that would kick up a fuss. Plus, like you say, if it's come from some African newspaper, there's always possible translation issues as well. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, but yeah, I mean, if he did say what he supposedly said, he's right. He's not a right back. He shouldn't have been playing right back, especially when there was a right back available. You can't argue with that. He's right. Why was he playing right back?
I agree.
So, you know, I can understand him being a bit upset with that. And this is something that I think is going to come in. And again, this is something I was saying a lot towards the end of last season. And I think the game against Tottenham kind of glossed over it. And now the season's finished. We're like, everyone's thinking about next season, and you kind of forget about last season. And there were some issues with Bilic last year.
Oh, definitely.
Especially with playing players out of position. And obviously he fell out with a good few players. That's still there, you know. So, I mean, it'll be really interesting to see how next season goes. It's going to be a big make or break season for Slav as well, I think.
Yeah, we've got some good questions on that later on about in terms of Slav and the positions of players and stuff. But Shek, definitely one we need to keep. Fantastic player. Don't get me wrong, he did have some spells where he was a bit nonchalant in the games, but I think when you play him in midfield, let him run, he's just fantastic player. I remember when he first come over, it was like, oh, is he going to replace Mohamed Diarmi? Because Diarmi was fantastic for us. And yeah, he's gone on and probably a lot better than what Mo Diarmi did for us. So one we need to keep with Obiang. Obiang's another one we'll move on to now. Obiang apparently going to be offered a new contract, if you believe what you read. Fully deserved for me. As I say, there's some moronic West Ham fans that sat next to me and Lee last year that was saying I do not understand what he does. Thank God he's gone off. I'm so glad he's injured. I don't know what football matches they were watching all year, because he was one of our best players for me.
Yeah, and it took a long time for him to get his chance. Again, from the sounds of things, if you know, from the season before last, Bilic didn't want to play him because he wasn't a Bilic signing, apparently. And he waited for his chance, and when he got his chance, he really took it, and he's a fantastic player. He's still young. What is he, 23, 24?
Yeah, 23, I think, yeah. He sprays the ball lovely, breaks the prey up lovely. I remember him playing a really fantastic through ball. I think it was to Andy Carroll, one of the away games this year. He's got it, and he was getting better and better in every game. He, one of the shining lights of last year, obviously, runner-up in the Hammer of the Year as well.
Yeah.
That says a lot as well, like, because really there was only one winner with Antonio. So to finish second to Antonio is it's no shame. Rightly so. Give him a new contract, give him whatever he wants. People like him, I say every week, him, Lanzini, Kouyate, that's your team you need to build around, not getting rid of these sort of players and not upsetting these players in any way.
100%. It's interesting that the reason, obviously, for the whole, we need to give him a new contract is because it sounds like there might be some big clubs in for him.
Liverpool sniffing, and AC Milan, I think it was, that was sniffing.
I mean, he's a very good player.
Yeah, it says a lot. If someone like Jurgen Klopp is coming sniffing, then he rates something and he sees something. Obviously, we all see how good a player he is, but he obviously sees that extra bit possibly where he can fit into that midfield of Liverpool, which is already a fantastic midfield. So, yeah, I hope he gets a new contract, and he isn't deterred. Obviously, I don't think we could blame him if he did go because of the way he was possibly treated last year and the fact that he's had to wait so long. He might have some doubts that he's going to play. I don't know. Would he think that Mark and Sheck are going to start and he might have to sit on the bench? I don't know. I don't think he will. I think he'll be starting, but these are sort of things that could possibly be going through his mind. So that's some of the sort of ins and outs at the minute. Obviously, in terms of transfers, there's still nothing going on. There's loads of rumours. Obviously, the transfer window doesn't officially open till next Saturday, 1st of July. So, yeah, obviously the Giroud rumours. Obviously, it keeps going round and round. There's Giroud might go to Monaco as a make-weight for the Mbappe deal if Arsenal get Mbappe.
I think the thing is there's been loads of talk about, so like you say, that Giroud maybe to Monaco for Mbappe, and then the likes of Batshuayi to Everton as part of the Lukaku deal. When has a player plus cash deal ever actually happened?
It's rare. It is very rare. But I think it's more gentleman's agreement than the actual official.
But even then, I mean, you don't see it often. You really don't. I mean, I don't know. it is. This is mad because I'm the first to call for patience when it comes to this kind of thing, but it is starting to get a little bit frustrating now for me. We've been linked with a few really good players. It feels like, obviously we're not privy to behind the scenes information, but it feels like we've identified our main targets, and it's starting to feel like we're starting to muck around. That's what it's starting to feel like to me.
I don't want to panic. A good point made from West Ham Fan TV today on their channel was the window's not even open yet. That's a good point to make. I think that it opens obviously next Saturday, like I just said. But yeah, I do agree with you, Paul. I think, like you say, like with the Iheanacho deal, it's like you say, if you believe what you read, talks are very heavily going on, and then Man City have thrown that little spanner in about the buyback and stuff, and apparently he's very keen to want to go back there at some point. But I think X touched on it last week. We need to accept where we are as a club and just pay it. Like, we can't keep like messing around, like, because we will miss them. We will miss out on these targets if we mess around. We'll miss out on your Iheanacho, miss out on your Bastiais, and miss out on Giroud, and then who are you going to pick?
That's it. Then what are you left with? I know. Yeah.
And then Defoe would have gone to Bournemouth potentially then, and then we haven't even got him as a backup plan.
I was reading today, apparently Chelsea now are interested in Traore as well.
Yeah, I read that.
So again,
player. I like him. I know a couple of people have been saying he's got no end product, but the guy's only 22 years old. Like,
and again, this is a guy that X was saying on the show last week was our main target. What, it's yes, it's true. The window isn't open yet, but it's not as if clubs haven't been making moves anyway, because you can get everything done and then it just needs to be signed on. All the paperwork's officially.
Yeah, I know. When they usually announce a deal as well, I think like the Zabaleta one was like, and he will sign on the 1st of July. So they can do it.
I mean, like you say, I'm the same. I don't want to panic. I'm all for having patience, but you don't, like you say, you don't want to muck around. You don't want to wait too long, because we will miss our targets, and then we just go down and down and down the list, and you end up with another window like we had last year. I mean, we'll see if we're still having this conversation on the 1st of August. Then it's time to panic, basically. Yeah.
I totally agree with you, mate. The one I think actually might happen, though, that I'm quite actually positive about, I think Joe Hart will happen.
Really?
I think Joe Hart will happen, yeah. I'm not going to go out and say like I'm some in the know or whatever, but I don't know. The only other club that's apparently interested in him, if you believe what you read, is Manchester United. That ain't going to happen. Yeah, I can see it. I think Joe will come. I think we'll be able to sort of negotiate a deal where we pay 100 grand of his wages, City pick up possibly 75, and then we maybe buy him next summer.
Can you imagine a world where West Ham are spending 100 grand a week on a goalkeeper?
It's like you say. I think you mentioned it last week. I don't know. Is he any better?
I mean, the things that I would say in favour of Hart is he is a name, and the fact that he is a name, it could be a boost to the defence for the first few games. He's a good goalkeeper.
Very mistake prone.
But then
I think we said it. Did we say sort of through the season? We said it. Like we said about a new goalkeeper, and we all agreed that unless you're getting your Manuel Neuers, your Gigi Buffons, your Courtois, after that superior world class level, all goalkeepers are sort of very similar.
Yeah, there's not a huge gap. I mean, absolutely, I 100% agree. For the keepers we've got now, we've got Randolph, we've got Adrian. To me, Randolph is a championship level goalkeeper. I don't think he's a Premier League level goalkeeper. If you look, like you say, yeah, absolutely. If you look at the goalkeepers at the moment playing in the Premier League, take out your De Gea, Courtois, Lloris, is there much between everybody else? I don't think so.
Oh, I don't think so either. I don't think so. Like Liverpool have struggled with goalkeeper issues for a few years now, since Pepe Reina left. Everton, Tim Howard left. They were sort of struggling with a goalkeeper last year. So yeah, like I say, after that elite level, it's just sort of it's give and take. Your goalkeeper makes a mistake, it's more high profile because it leads to a goal. Like Adrian, did not turn into a bad goalkeeper overnight.
No.
You know, like he picked for that Spain team. He was never going to start for Spain, but he got picked for Spain, so that he was doing something right. I don't know. It'd be interesting. Like I say, Joe Hart is a good goalkeeper. And what makes me would be positive about that signing is it is a World Cup year. So he has got to, you know, he's coming there point to prove, and he will have to be on it this year. And really, any international that you sign this year will be on it. And you'll probably get a lot better performances in general through all the teams this year because they'll want that World Cup spot.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be disappointed if we signed him by any stretch.
No.
But, you know, yeah, if he signs, great, he signs. I'd be sad because if he does sign, that means that Adrian's probably going to leave. And I do rate Adrian very highly. I would rather see us keep Adrian as our number one and sign another backup. But, you know, no, like, we'll see what happens. It's an interesting one to watch.
Another one, I think we touched on it last week, but just while we're on this, like Chris Smalling as well. I like him. I do like him.
I'd be delighted if we signed him. I really would. I know Man United fans don't seem to rate him, but we're not Man United.
For West Ham level, he would be fantastic.
Yeah.
He would. I think I've said it a couple of times. I would love to see that defence of Ogbonna, Reed, and Smalling, because I think they're units, all good in the air. Smalling's a good ball player as well. Ogbonna's a good ball player. Reed is getting better. And I think it'd be an upgrade from Font. Again, Font may come on, but again, he's 34 now. He's not really going to get any better than what he is now. So that's it really. Is there any other sort of ones? Like I say, the Aman Traore one, Adama Traore, I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it, but again, it looks like it's gone a bit stale again. It's gone a bit.
Yeah, like you say, it's gone a bit quiet. I imagine if Chelsea are interested, there's only going to be one winner there. You know, he'll go to Chelsea. I don't know. It's like I say, it seems like our targets now are out there. Our main targets are out there. We know who we want. Now we just have to go and get them. That's it. We just have to go and get them.
Do you think there'll be any more outs now?
Probably.
I think Snodgrass will go. I think Snodgrass will go.
I think Snodgrass will go.
Down as well.
I don't think Faguli will go.
Like, it wouldn't surprise me. You know, like
it wouldn't surprise one. I don't know. Apparently, I'm pretty sure I read that he's come out and said he wants to stay. That he's staying at West Ham. I have also read on these like Mother Brown, one of the in the nose on there, basically said Faguli's not going anywhere. He said that there'll be 3 players leaving. One of them would be, what did he say? I can't remember how he worded it. One of them would be interesting or a bit of a surprise, something like that. So Nordtveit's obviously gone. I reckon Sacco. Valencia's probably going to be one.
Yes. So Valencia apparently going to Tigres. Is that I don't know how you pronounce it. It's a Mexican club.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if Valencia goes, Nordtveit's gone. If you believe that, and there's going to be one more out, I'd like it to be Sacco. But yeah,
I think Sacco to go would be all right. Apart from that, I don't think there's anyone else really. Like I say, Faguli potentially, Snodgrass potentially, but again, it's who we get in to replace. They're not going to get rid of anyone without replacing.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's it for the transfers this week, guys. If you know anything, if you've got any opinions on what me and Paul have said, if you agree with us, please let us know. Like I say, it's very quiet, the news, during the summer, so we really do have to scrape the barrel to get some stuff. The kit was officially launched today. We discussed it a little bit last week. For those of you who haven't seen it, there you go. Cool poses there from Andy, Manuel and Mark.
It looks better on, obviously. It always looks better on the players. It's not bad. I don't think I'll be buying it.
No, I will buy the away. I was at the Lakeside store last weekend, actually. It's a really nice kit, really nice kit. But I advise you guys, this is off the record, please go to Sports Direct. It is about £10 cheaper. Do not buy it from the West Ham shop. Do not give those robbing guys another tenner.
That was well done there. That was robbing guys.
Yeah, robbing guys. Yeah, I was trying so hard not to swear there.
It's a joke though. It's a joke. I say it all the time, and I as I say again all the time, I live abroad. I don't live in England. I live in Northern Ireland, which ain't miles away. I'm still in the UK, still the Royal Mail, but they want to charge me like £15 postage. Are you serious? It's a joke. It's an absolute joke.
It was I can't remember what site put it out that to get your name. Let's say for example, you buy the West Ham shirt, Lanzini 10 on the back from the West Ham store will cost you something like £80. Sports Direct shirt, Manuel Lanzini number 10, 50 quid. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke.
Yeah, like, and then they'll put out
£50.
Then they put out all press stuff saying, "Oh, please buy it from the shop, from the club shop. Support your team, support your club. We're not supporting the club. We're supporting your pockets."
Yeah, I'd rather go and buy a nice Ralph Lauren shirt to go out in. There are other makes, guys. Yeah, on that actually, I just remembered something that I read. I don't know whether you read it, Paul, or not. Season tickets. So they've obviously started selling to the waiting list now. All the renewals are done. The price was frozen for the renewals. But sneaky of West Ham, the prices for people buying new, it's gone up. It's gone up as well by about £40 average. What do you make on that?
I mean, it's not really a surprise, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you look at it historically, season tickets, would they normally go up every year anyway? I mean, for people that are renewing, they freeze the prices. They don't have to do that, but yeah, they've frozen the prices for renewals. Obviously, a lot of people that bought season tickets last year had to buy into 2 years anyway. They had to take a 2-year season ticket. I mean, if the club thinks that they really have got 55,000 people on the waiting list, of course they're going to put the prices up because they know they're going to sell them. You know, that's just business. Whether it's good for the fans or not, it's a different thing. That's just business. It'll be interesting to see how many they sell. It'll be very interesting to see how long it takes before everyone starts getting the desperate emails saying, "Oh, last chance to buy your season ticket. Don't forget your season ticket."
Also on that, kids tickets as well. So they were £99 across the board last year. They've only kept it £99 for bands 5 and 4. Obviously the cheapest ones. I think after that it goes up to something like 239, 349, whatever. I think as a gesture they should have kept £999 all the way across for kids. £99 all the way across.
I would agree with that if it wasn't for the fact that the sort of kids tickets upgrade your kids ticket wasn't being abused. From the sounds of things, that was being abused quite a lot last season. With it sounds like a lot of people were buying them £99 tickets and never using them just because they cost £99, just in case they wanted to go. Yeah, just in case they wanted to go and see us play the big teams. They always had that ticket there, and then they'd just upgrade it on the day, and they were guaranteed a ticket. That's one issue, which meant a lot of those seats were sitting empty for a lot of the season. That's a good way of stopping that. And also, as well, from what you read, there was a lot of people who weren't even bothering to upgrade the tickets. They were literally just going as adults on £99 kids tickets, and nothing was being said. So it sounds like it was being abused quite a lot last year. So I can understand why they have made that change. I can understand that.
Yeah. We all did it, mate. I think I was the
kids for a quid.
I think I was 25 and still getting in for a quid. I've still looked 16.
That's it. That's embarrassing, mate. You're robbing the club. You should feel ashamed of yourself.
Oh yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Way back in the day before our time, they was all doubling up through the turnstiles and stuff, weren't they? You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always been done. But no, I can understand why, why they've done that, because the fact that there were so many empty seats, even though we officially sold capacity, they needed to do something to try and prevent that from happening because it looks ridiculous. It looks terrible.
Yeah.
Not to mention people that want to go can't go because they can't get a ticket. But yeah, so.
Yeah, no, agreement. Right, let's do some questions. Obviously, it's not going to be the longest podcast in the world this week because there's not many things going on West Ham. As soon as there is, if it's before the podcast, like transfers. For those of you that are new subscribers, I'll just explain the channel a little bit actually, as we've got a bit of time this week. I do most of the reviews and do some opinion videos during the season. Paul does a lot of transfer videos during the transfer seasons and obviously appears on the podcast. And he does a lot of the editing. That's why you don't see his face as much more. You see my face. And obviously Lee turns up when he wants to.
Yeah, Lee's about occasionally.
Yeah, Lee's, if I put it in Sunday League terms, he don't do training.
Lee's our foreign correspondent.
Foreign correspondent.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some where Lee will be going, obviously very, very soon. There will be some guests, and I'd like to actually announce on the show right now, actually, for those of you who haven't seen it on Twitter, Dan Lawless, you all know Dan from West Ham Fan TV, will be joining us in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, Paul's wedding is next week, so we might be very, very busy and might not actually get a chance to film, but we'll obviously let you know on Twitter. Right, let's get on with the questions, Paul. Nicholas Craven was on Facebook. What players do you believe that we need to go for this window?
Same thing.
Names that keep coming up.
Same names that come up every single week. Yeah, I mean, strikers. That's what we need. We need at least one, probably two. Pacey, quick.
What about Daniel Sturridge? Would you still go for him if the money was right?
If the money was right, 100%, it'd be our best player by a mile.
Not that 40 million mark. No chance. I wouldn't pay 40 million for him.
If he put again, it's another one of those. It's a weird thing with West Ham. It's another one of those. If he stayed fit and if his head was right, it'd be our best player by a mile. It's that if. But then, if there wasn't that if, we wouldn't have any chance of getting him.
No, that's it.
So
yeah, Daniel Sturridge fit is a £50 million player. He's arguably one of the best finishers in the Premier League. He ruins us every time we play him, and he ruined us on the last game of the season as well. If the order starts tipping down, we don't get Iheanacho, don't get Bastial, maybe we do have to start sniffing around Daniel Sturridge and just possibly take a massive gamble on him.
It would be a gamble, but I tell you what, it wouldn't be a disappointing signing.
Oh no, it'd be one of the best players we've ever signed.
Yeah.
When fit, he would be one of the best players we've ever signed.
Yeah, absolutely. Same as with Giroud. If we managed to, I don't think we'd get Giroud, but if we managed to get Giroud, again, he's an unbelievable striker.
Oh, technical.
Yeah, fantastic. He's technical. His goal-scoring record's fantastic for club and country. It's a funny one when you see players turning their nose up at players like that. I don't understand it. Who are you expecting West Ham to go and sign? Look at the strikers we've been blessed with over the last however many years. Tell me one that had the quality of a Giroud or a Sturridge.
Well, my dad says it a lot, actually. We've not had many, mate, that actually even get into double figures in a season. I think Colton possibly hit 10 once, if we're talking in the last, 10 years?
Yeah, before that it was, Teddy Sheringham? Yeah,
like you can go Championship, but I don't include Championship. I think that's not fair reflection. But yeah, like probably before that, I think Paolo's maximum, we all love Paolo on the show. I think Paolo's maximum was 17. I'd love someone who scores 17 goals. But before that, you're looking at Johnny Hartson at 20 goals.
Marlene, I think
Johnny got 24 before.
Marlon Airwood, I'm pretty sure broke double figures.
Possibly.
But yeah, no, you're right, mate. There ain't that many. And when you look at the names that were, they're not. They weren't like you say, like Marlon Airwood weren't exactly like the best player in the world. Do you know what I mean?
Colton, I don't want to slag him off, but Colton, I don't know how many games he played for West Ham, but he was there a long time. Was he 7 years, 8 years? Colton, I think he only got 51 goals in 8 years. That's awful.
Oh, he wasn't prolific whatsoever. You know, I love Colton. I love Colton Cole. He was a cult hero.
Oh yeah,
but he weren't an amazing striker. Do you know what I mean?
No.
You know, so no. I mean, you know, if we got the likes of Sturridge, a Giroud, a Batshuayi, those would be phenomenal signings for West Ham. Phenomenal.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. He goes on to say, and what youth is most likely going to get a game time this season? And how much do you realistically see them getting? We sort of touched on it beginning of the show. Josh Cullen for me. I can see him start getting sort of 15, 20 minutes here and there this year.
Yeah, Cullen, Rice,
yeah,
possibly.
Rice, obviously, X knows a lot more than us, and he sort of mentioned the name Declan Rice a couple of times. So if you sort of trust Dex, then that would assume that Declan's probably going to get some chance next year.
Yeah, well, he was on the bench, wasn't he? End of last season. Did he make his debut last season? I can't remember if he made his debut.
He did. He came on for a few minutes in that last game.
Yeah, so, he's one that's obviously around the squad. If he stays with the first team, I can see him being in and around, same as, like you say, Reece Burke, if he stays with the squad. And then, Cullen.
What about, if we don't sign a bloody striker, we have no choice, but Tony Martinez as well.
I'd like to see him around the team. It's an interesting one because I was reading a lot last season. He wasn't very happy about playing with the youth team, playing with the reserves. He wasn't very happy. He basically thought he was better than that level, and he was banging goals in. So, and then obviously he went out on loan. It'd be interesting. I mean, how old is Tony Martinez? He's early 20s as well, isn't he?
I think 21 now.
So he is of an age where if he's going to do it, you need to start putting him in now. I'd actually be happy to see him in the team as a backup striker, sort of like to replace the Kaleri sort of player of last year. Do you know what I mean? Someone to be on the bench. And
that's something we haven't talked about actually. Ashley Fletcher, he's obviously linked with, I think it's Huddersfield. I think £5 million move to Huddersfield. I'd be quite sad to see him go, actually. I know a lot of West Ham fans say, I know Lee has said it a couple of times on his channel, he's had his chance and he didn't score. Not for me. I think he's looked quite good when he's played.
He has, and he's a good prospect. Yeah, I wouldn't really want to see him sold. I wouldn't mind. I'd actually love to see him go out on loan to a decent level club. Yeah. I'd love to see him go out on loan to a decent level club and see what he can do, being played week in, week out before we sold him and wrote him off. Yeah. But I don't think, even though he was on the bench a lot last season, I think that was more due to we just didn't have the numbers. He's not going to get regular playing time, so I think he should be loaned out. That's what I'd like to see happen with Fletcher, and see if he has got what it takes.
Yeah, no, I think any time he came on, he looked quite good, and you got to think he's coming in high pressure situations, probably knowing he's not going to start the next game, even if he scored. So he's sort of in a sort of no-win situation last season. It was a tough season last year, anyway, wasn't it? Okay, Patrick. I have heard from another site that we had to pay back a loan of 35 to 40 million plus interest to M. Tabar. I don't know who that is. Do you think this could affect our transfer budget?
I have to say,
I've not really.
Yeah, I have to admit, I haven't read that. I haven't heard about that. As far as I was aware, all of our loans were to David Gold and David Sullivan.
Yeah, that's right.
Because, I thought we'd cleared away our external debt moving into the stadium, and everything was owed to the two Daves. That could well be wrong. I could well be wrong, but that's just what I thought. And no, I have to say I haven't read that, so I couldn't really say.
If you are watching, Patrick, if you can send us the link to that, we'll be able to possibly put it into next week's show so that we can have a little read through it and see it. So send that over, Patrick, if you are watching. SB, one of the sort of questions we've probably been asked it quite a lot, actually. Messi or Ronaldo? Ronaldo all day long. I like the
it's Messi, mate.
And the arrogance.
No, it's for me, it'd be Messi, 100%. And I know Lee would agree with me as well.
I know Lee's a Messi guy, yeah.
He is. He's a bit. Don't get me wrong. I love Ronaldo, and like you say, it's the arrogance. And I actually had this conversation the other day with a guy. Messi is the better player. Messi's a better player naturally. Messi's more naturally gifted, but Ronaldo worked so hard to get to the level that he's got to. I don't think there's any other athlete in world football like Ronaldo. I don't think there's anyone as determined to be the best. Like Ronaldo is
ambition.
he's a winner. He's a winner. You know, that word describes Ronaldo. I feel like he's someone that he would literally grab his teammates and lift them. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he did that to Portugal, really, didn't he?
Yeah.
In the Euros.
Yeah, you see him running up and down the line. I love both players, I really do. But I would still rather have Lionel Messi. He's just an absolute magician. He really is.
Yeah. Do you know a player I was actually talking about in work? One of my heroes, Gabriel Batistuta. It's like we was talking about the old Serie A days and sort of how we used to love like Lazio's with Christian Vieri and Salas. Like great days they were as well. Who remembers that, guys? If you remember that show, what was it called? Football Italia on Channel 4?
Yeah.
Go Lazio! If you remember that, guys, tell us who your favourite player was from that generation. Definitely for me, Christian Vieri, Lazio era. Oh my goodness me! Like what a player he was.
For me, obviously, Del Piero, Alessandro Del Piero, my footballing idol.
And people like that, Edgar Davids, Tarams. What? Just going through that Juventus team, unbelievable. Stephen Ruksicki, he asks questions quite like to. Have you noticed the growing trend of players who have had enough of playing in the wrong position and then they make comments to either Bilic or the press? Then the fan base tells them to stop complaining. Should be proud to wear the shirt. They get paid enough. Blah 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 blah.
I mean, it's a funny one. You won't find. I don't think we've ever said on this show that players should be happy playing in the wrong position. I don't think we've ever said that. Players. I mean, what's the point in signing someone if you're going to play them out of position? It makes no sense. Obviously, you know, due to injuries, due to suspensions, things can happen where you've got no choice, and you have to play players out of position because you've got no one else to play there. But again, as we were talking about Kouyate earlier, being played out of position when there were players that can actually play that position, I don't agree with that. And I do think that's been...
like Mikel as well.
Absolutely. And I do think that has been an issue with Slav since he's been here. I mean, we've got good cover now on the left. We've got good cover on the right with Byram and Zabaleta. It shouldn't happen again. It shouldn't happen next season. If it does, there's obviously a bigger issue there, you know. What do you think?
I agree. I've got no issue with players having a bit of a moan up in terms of that. Yes, they're very, very lucky in privileged positions, but for me, it's more the Antonio for me because the guy sensational in that last year at Upton Park, and he is one of the best. I know we're biased, but he's one of the best wingers in the Premier League, in my opinion. Goal scoring winger. Such a powerful engine in the final third. He's wasted. He is wasted there. He's wasted at right back. He's wasted at right wing back. So is Sheck though. Sheck is wasted at right back and centre back. He needs to be like a train, like Toure, not Toure, Yaya Toure, running in like that. He does go on. He said, "I'd say this causes an ever more poisonous atmosphere. Will Bilic stop doing it? Will we lose Kouyate or maybe others?"
Well, yeah, like I just said, there's no reason for it to happen now. Obviously, we could end up with a couple of freak injuries, but there's no real reason now. We seem to be pretty well covered at right back and left back, which is where the issues were, particularly right back. It shouldn't happen again this season. If it does, obviously, it's going to cause problems. And we said it last year. It's that if it happens again this season, it's that stubbornness that'll eventually cost Bilic's job. So I don't think it'll keep happening. I don't think it will. I'd like to think that we'll sign the right players we need. Obviously, we've signed Zabaleta to fill that hole at right back. So hopefully we're past that now. You know, hopefully we're past that.
Yep. 2 more questions. Daniel, are you confident we will get a good striker? We've sort of half discussed this right at the beginning of the show. Like Paul said, getting a little bit nervous, but like I say, ask me again on August the 1st.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. And last question from Mark is one of the funny ones, which I like. Jonathan Spector or Christian Daly?
In what regards? So Daly was Christian Daly was Christian Daly.
Jonathan Spector scored a hat-trick against Manchester United.
That's it. You'll never forget Jono for that game.
Yeah.
What a game that was.
Was it a hat-trick?
Yeah, he did score. Did he score an hat-trick or did he score 2?
Yeah, Bryce. Yeah,
he scored 2. He scored 2. It was 4-0, wasn't it? He scored 2.
Colton definitely scored because of smoke head.
Did he? No, he didn't score an hat-trick, did he? Did he?
I don't know now.
We're going to have to look that up.
I know it was a fantastic game.
Yeah, no, I think he just scored 2. I don't think he scored a hat-trick. I think he scored 2.
I think he would have had a mug released if he scored an hat-trick.
DVD himself. I think it's going to have to be just for because it was more our sort of era, Christian Daly for me. Yeah,
and Christian Daly got the goal that got us to the Plough final against Ipswich, that header. So, yeah, for me it's Christian. Yeah, that's it for this week, guys. Like I say, is it that short? Let me just check. Yeah, it's okay. It's sort of average time for a podcast for the Three Hammers. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Thanks for all the loyal ones that have stayed loyal all the way from the beginning when we was LTF Sport. Yeah, please check out West Ham Fan Zone. Please comment, like and subscribe. If there's any guests that you would think you'd like to see on the show, I'll put this out on Twitter. Like I say, Dan Lawless is coming on. I'm definitely going to get Jay back on because we want to see him. And if there's any vloggers out there, guys, if you're watching, if you're a vlogger and you run, like, say, for example, the West Ham Way or West Ham World or Irons United, and you want to come on the show, we'll give you a platform, you know. You can come on, have a chat, tell us what you do. That's what we're going to try and do now. Put some of you guys out there as well because you've helped us to get to just where we are at the moment. But that's it. Come on, you Irons. And as it says on Paul's shirt behind him, keep believing. Let's go.
Cheers.